Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the library. I know I'm getting a lot of books for the holidays, my birthday, and I need to make room on my shelves. So today I'm going to be doing an unhaul with you. I have 3, 7, 9, 11, 14, 15 books that I'm getting rid of. This is just 15 books in the last couple of months. I do unhauls pretty frequently for the most part. I don't like having books on my shelves that I'm never going to read again, that I wouldn't recommend, things like that. So, let me put a couple things away, grab a couple things, and I'll be right back. Okay. The reason I'm getting rid of these books are for a couple of reasons. I either didn't like them or I enjoyed them enough at the time, but not when I would read again. Those are why I get rid of books, to be perfectly honest. The first one that I'm getting rid of is The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I have read a couple of other Riley Sager books that I've enjoyed so much more than this. Spoiler, there is a paranormal element in this book that I wasn't a huge fan of. It just kind of felt out of place for the storyline. The writing was fine. It just didn't really hold my attention the way that his other ones that I've read have. So that one is going. And all of these books, I'm taking to half-price books to buy more books on my TBR because I have like 150 books that I would like to buy. The next one on the list is Daphne by Josh Malerman. I was on the fence about getting rid of this one because this book makes you feel so anxious while you're reading it. It is done so well. The writing is amazing. It is not my favorite book, and now that I think more about it and I sit on it, and I'm like, I don't really think I would read it again. It's not one I would recommend because it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. So I think it's time that this one moves on for somebody else to enjoy. The next two are part of a series. It is Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Cesare. This was fine while I was reading it. When I got the first and the second one, I did not realize it was YA. I like some YAs. YA slashers are not it for me. So I'm going to pass these along to someone else who will enjoy them. There's one other book in the series. I'm not even going to finish it. At first I thought I'd go to the library and borrow it, but I've moved on. And this was good for what it was, but it will be loved by somebody else that's not me and not on my bookshelf. That was one my mom gave me to get rid of for her. Okay. I love Frida McFadden. I'm going to preface this by saying I love Frida McFadden for the most part. This book was like reading Verity, popcorn thriller-wise. I loved Verity. Verity lives on my bookshelf and will, because I enjoyed it so much, and I will reread it and see if my opinions on anything have changed. This was like reading basically Verity written by Frida McFadden. No hate to her. I love Frida McFadden. I have like 12 of her books on my shelf right now and 2 in Texas being borrowed by my family, but I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. It won't be on my shelf. I won't reread it because if I want to reread it, I'll just pick up Verity. Okay. Next on the list is Firestarter by Stephen King. The only reason I'm getting rid of this is because I have been slowly collecting, when I find them, the 90s looking covers for them. And I found this one at Walmart, so I no longer need this copy. I don't like having 2 of anything on my shelf. The only exception to that is my husband got me the box set of the Wicked series and a 50th anniversary edition of Wicked, which is like a collector's edition. That is the only time that I have 2 on my shelf. The next one is the same thing. It's The Dead Zone by Stephen King, for the sole fact I found a 90s copy. It's not a 90s copy. It's a new copy, but it's got like the old worn looking cover to it, and I like these a lot. I have several others. Next on the list is Alex by Adam J. Nicolai. My friend gave this to me. I have no interest in reading it anymore. It's basically about a guy that mourns the death of his son. And with everything going on in the world, that's the last thing that I want to think of is mourning the loss of my son. This breaks my heart because it's such a pretty book. Never Whistle at Night, which is the Indigenous dark fiction anthology. I loved the idea of this book. And this is no hate to any of the authors or anything like that. I am not a short story person. The only exception to that rule is I have all the Stephen King short story collections down here. But overall, I am not a short story person. And I hate to say that. I made it a little over halfway through this book, through several of the stories. My biggest thing, and I think the reason I can do Stephen King short stories and not like collections is because I enjoy having the same writing style throughout. It's really hard for my brain to comprehend when the writing style jumps around. So I have come to find that short story collections written by the same author, I'm fine with, and I can judge based off each story, not as a whole. But when the writing style jumps around, that makes it really hard for me to read it. Great concept. They did a fantastic job writing the stories. It's just not for me. Next up is The Stand by Stephen King. This is the copy that I received. My husband got it for me. And this is the one that I found with a nicer cover. And I just don't like that cover. So we're getting rid of that one, and I'm keeping this copy that I found. We used to live here. I am getting rid of the hard copy or the hardcover copy. I have the paperback copy. I prefer paperback, so when I read a hardcover that I like, I hold on to it until I can get a copy of the paperback, and then I just get rid of the hardback. So the next one I need to grab another book for. Hang on. There it is. All right. The next one is Misery. I have this copy with this cover, but my friend found one of like the 90s distressed covers for me. So I'm getting rid of my old copy just so I like them all looking uniform. If they all came out with this kind of cover, I would have all of these kind of covers. But The Stand was really hard to find. And this is the complete and uncut edition, which is what I've been wanting. I wanted the full doorstopper of a book. So I am getting rid of 15 books for the sole fact that I don't need them on my shelf. And I will read a book. If I'm on the fence about it, it goes back on my shelf. And then eventually it catches my eye and I'm like, no, I don't want to keep it. Or yes, I do want to keep it. If I say no, it immediately gets pulled off and put under the cabinet so that it's protected from my cats until I can get a chance to go and drop them off and get the money for them. So I do them pretty frequently. When I get 15 to 20 books, then I take them because anything more than that is just a pain to carry. So thank you for coming to my UNHAUL. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!